Whenever it comes to Gundam universes, a lot of people think of the most popular ones like the Universal Century, the Cosmic Era, the After Colony, or some other universes like IBO, Double O, and Witch from Mercury. And when it comes to Gunpla, they make a lot of kits for each of these series. I mean, there's a lot. And with Gunpla, it's pretty big on customization, whether that's arming up your kit or even coloring it. Even with all the instruction booklets, they give you a formula to mimic the color of the plastic using paint by using percentage formulas. It's pretty safe to say that Bandai wants you to customize these kits. They even promote it.
Now, what if they just made an entire series based off that idea?
Well, welcome to the world of the Gundam Build series.
This is pretty much a series where you build your own model kits and customize them. You can take that Gunpla and load it into a game using a new special particle and fight other people's models in tournaments or even just for recreational activities.
These kits range from mobile suits that look pretty militaristic and could fit in with the other universes, to having some very interesting mobile suits that will stand out. The whole concept for this was to kind of take already existing kits and give them a fresh new take, kind of like a custom, as these original kits already exist in the universe, and these build kits are customs from what the players make. Like 99% of the build kits are all high grades, but they have had a couple of master grades and I'm pretty sure a real grade as well. And while I'm not even close to having all these, nor do I really want to, today we're going to take a look at the ones that I do have and see why I think they're really cool and why I bought them. Welcome to the UV or Hercules channel. My name is Grant. Let's get right into the video. Alright, first off, we will not be covering any Breaker Battlelog kits in this video. I've made an entire collection overview on every single Breaker Battlelog kit that has been released, so you can go check that out if you want to see those kits. I will also not be talking about the Perfect Strike Freedom Rouge, as that was also covered in that video. I've also reviewed a couple of these kits, so we're just kind of going to speed run through these, just so we can get onto the kits that we haven't talked about, so any kit that has a review will be getting just a quick little segment. Well, at least most of them will. Alright, first up we got the two entry grade build kits. First up we got the La Gundam. This is a really cool red and black accented version of the RX-78-2. It has a really cool spear and shield. This one is honestly just alright. The new parts aren't really the best and kind of fall off pretty easily. Next up, we got the entry grade Strike Exceed Galaxy. This one's based off the entry grade Strike, and this one is definitely the better version of the two. It just feels much more robust, and honestly, those pink accents give it a much cooler look. Both of these kits are pretty cool though, and they're around 15 bucks, so if you want to pick them up, you won't be disappointed. Next up, we got the Double O Command Quanta Desert version. This one's extremely neat with all of its really cool swords and ballistic weapons, especially that big ass sword. This is one of the coolest looking Gundams easily and will fit right in with your Universal Century or even Double O collection. Next up, we have the Jim Jim. I have already reviewed this kit, but I do want to take a little bit longer to talk about it because it is just absolutely amazing. Not only is it a really cool looking Jim, it also doubles as a revive. As we haven't seen a revive of the Jim yet, this and the Origin version double as alternative options. I personally prefer this version over the Origin. I'm just a much bigger fan of the art style compared to the Origin art style. This one just has a really cool mecha look. It looks very intimidating and can get into a lot of very good poses.
First up, we have the Build Strike with the Pulaski wing set. This kit is based off the HG Strike, and there are many versions of the Build Strike. This specific version I have is with the Pulaski wing set.
Right here we have the Build Strike. The issue with a lot of these kits is that they're based off already existing kits and redesigning them. So this kit does have a lot of stickers on it. The arm stickers, some of the parts on the waist are stickers, but you know, that's just kind of how it is. And then you get to its accessories. You got a shield, and then you got its beam rifle. Now that the Build Strike with its weapons, we're going to take a look at the backpack, which is this little flyer. It has a really nice cockpit windshield stickers. I honestly think that looks really well. And it pretty much has a little bit of a transformation for you to attach it. So pretty much the entire transformation is pretty much dependent on the slider joint in here. So what you're going to do is want to flip this up. So this peg is out, and then just kind of move it back. And then you can keep it like that. And then you're going to want to fold these chest straps out. Getting the Build Strike back now, I honestly would just recommend taking the head off entirely. And then you're just going to want to plug it in and then move these chest pieces down like that. It's easier to adjust them when they're not a foot away from me. And then you can just put the head back on, and now the backpack is on. You also can move these guns out. They usually don't fall off, just like that. And then you have the just some more blasters to use. The version I have specifically is the Pulaski Wing version. So it comes with all these really, really cool, translucent, a little bit sparkly blue pieces to deck out the Build Strike. Pretty much going to be these tabs all over the kit that you're just going to kind of plug these blue like flame pieces into. These two huge ones go in the back, and the polycaps kind of move backwards as they go. These smaller single piece feather ones go into the back. And these top pieces, and then there's also a back collar piece, go onto the top like that. And this kit is pretty wobbly if you can't tell. So thankfully the kit comes with a stand, and each one of these pink pieces has a spot, and these are gap fillers whenever you don't have the blue wing set in. And there's the kit on the stand.
Now let's take a closer look at the Build Strike. This kit's pretty solid, albeit it does have quite a few stickers, but with the huge Pulaski wing set, it doesn't have a hard time falling over because of the included stand, which is really nice. Hopefully more Gunpla include stands in the future. Next up, we have the HG Amazing Red Warrior. This one is based off the RX-78-2 Gundam and definitely gives a unique look, having some Charasmo vibes with the red color scheme. This one stood out to me for all of its amazing and cool weapons.
Taking a closer look at the Amazing Red Warrior, it's pretty decent articulation, nothing crazy that you wouldn't expect from a Gunpla. It does have these weird over-the-top shoulder bits, and not the best thing ever. They're a little bit awkward, but they're not completely unbearable. It does come with this super tiny Gunpla shield. I don't know what we're going to be blocking with that, but it does, it's definitely there. It's definitely accessory. But this kit comes with a lot of accessories. First one we have is the backpack. Backpack has these segmented arms that are a little tight, but they definitely work. They kind of remind me of the Buster Gundam. And then you can just plug that on into the back. Next ones we have are these gun swords. There's a smaller one as well. I don't know where it went, but it can either be a gun with a bayonet or just a sword. And it comes with a lot of blasters. You can pretty much just kind of mix and match however you want to make some pretty unique weapons. Like you can make this gun right here just kind of go forever if you really want to. Go kind of a designated part, like this one's definitely a blaster, this one is definitely a bazooka, and then this one is definitely a minigun. And some of these guns have holes you can even connect onto the backpack. So if we plug them in like so, they can stay on the backpack, and then you can move them out, they don't fall off, to display them with some under the arm action.
Unfortunately, this kit does have quite a few issues, especially when it comes to the weapon and the backpack. They are all just very loose, especially when it comes to weapons. They don't hold together very well, and the backpack easily comes out, especially when it comes to those arm attachments. Even with all the issues, this kit definitely does bring something to the shelf with the huge guns and the red Gundam design. There's just not much out there that is like this Gundam, and definitely does bring that unique shelf presence. While it's not as solid as the Build Strike Gundam, this one is still a worthy pickup in my opinion. The Gundam Wing Phenise, I don't really know. This kit's really, really cool. It has almost a Renaissance feel to it. This is specifically the one that doesn't transform. There's another kit for that. But overall, this kit is very cool. By far the coolest aspect of this kit is the broken-esque look. If we take a closer look at the head, it has two different colored eyes and a broken V-fin. It definitely does have an asymmetric look as well, and overall the articulation is decent. There's some things that do get in the way, but overall it is just fine. The asymmetric look carries over to the backpack where we have only half of the wing set. The other side is a holder for the beam rifle. Right here, you can just kind of plug it in, but it just does have the standard backpack connector like everything else in the build line. Taking a closer look at the gun, you do have two handles. This one is specifically meant for either holding it or putting on the backpack. This one can move side to side and can maybe be used as a secondary handle or even the main handle if you want. This gun is absolutely massive, so it's going to be staying on the backpack. Next up, we have the Beam Saber.
It just kind of connects in like that, and it is definitely a fencing style of beam saber. It also does have a storage spot with this right here. You can kind of take it out, and then you can put that on the arm, and it'll stay on just like that. I think I actually had it on backwards, so the part with the gray lip is going to be facing towards the hand. We get the last and probably the coolest part is this little translucent pink cape piece. It might also be a shield. Just kind of goes in there. Hold on. There we go. And this kind of adds the finish to the look of like a freelancer kind of thing. It looks really, really cool. This kit is really cool. Not only does it pass on vibes, it also is a pretty solid kit and not a lot falls off. Especially with the intrograde Wing Gundam coming out, the high grade kind of doesn't really have a place anymore. But this kit definitely does keep that high grade Wing Gundam mold alive. Definitely worth a try, especially if you're into the Renaissance look that it gives off. Next up, we have the Shy Quanta, and there's really only one reason why you get this kit, as the Command Quanta is a better version of a Build 00 kit. It's for the kitty aesthetic, and honestly, it looks pretty cool. Before we start, this is a knockoff kit. The engineering is based off the actual Shy Quanta, but I really liked this pink and blue color scheme, so I decided to buy the knockoff instead of the official kit. It's the high-grade Quanta, decent articulation, nothing crazy. You pretty much just get the kit for the kitty vibes. We're going to start off with the gigantic shield. I mean, this thing is massive and has a lot of transparent blue weaponry on it that you can all combine with the sword. It also makes the kit very heavy. But there it is with the shield, and then we also have its pink and blue sword that can just slide into the hand just like that. Now the flight stand isn't actually included, but this kit looks really, really nice up in the air. This stand is pretty normal with knockoff kits, but you can just definitely get it in a lot more dynamic poses like this, to where you can actually utilize all of its glory with the shield, and it just fell over. Since this is a KO, it's pretty hard to talk about the quality because it's a knockoff. But if you're buying this, you're probably going to power through it because you want the cat look. This will probably be the closest thing I ever get to having an anime girl in my collection, and I'm cool with that. It's honestly a really cool design. I really like the cat ears on top of the mobile suit, and the pink version just kind of was a cherry on top for me. Now we have the Sengoku Estray. This is, of course, based off the high-grade Estray, which is over 20 years old, I'm pretty sure. This kit definitely has some issues, especially since it looks so different from the original Gundam Estray. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like this kit, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. The biggest issue, it just adds on so much that it just becomes kind of unwieldy. Those shoulders are massive. These two knee parts fall off. I'd glue them in. And the Estray frame's just really old. So, I mean, it definitely, hopefully, you'll get a new version. They keep pumping this kit out, though, so who never knows. It comes with closed and open hands and also a tilted downward closed hand for pointing sword motions. The katanas are standard high-grade Estray katanas. All detail has to be painted or stickers because they are cast in white. And you can just stick it in there for storage where it will remain for the rest of its days. I put this in different sides. There we go. That's much better. Now we have the shield. This shield is just ends up like this. There's a lot of paint on this that I'm not going to paint, but it can hold it decently well, and it can also store on the back via this peg. You just got to store the handle, and then it'll just plug in, and it fell out, but that's all right because it's never going to be seen again. Yeah, this kit is the literal perfect example of whenever people talk about build kits saying that they're not as robust as the original kits due to the fact that all this extra gear wasn't in the plan whenever they first engineered this kit. It's honestly okay. Hopefully the Estray Blue frame will finally make me love this mold. Here we have the Gundam EzSR. This kit is based off the EZ8 Gundam, and I bought this kit and the next kit specifically so they can fit in with my Federation army, as this one looks a lot like a gun cannon, especially with the backpack. So here we have the Gundam EzSR, specifically the Eliminator version. This kit is pretty cool. It has decent articulation. I mean, this is based off the EZ8, so definitely is an older kit, but the articulation for that kit is still pretty good. Here's the beam rifle. Definitely has a lot shorter barrel. That's pretty much the only difference. It does have a trigger finger hand attached to it. Go ahead and plug that in right there. Then here we have the backpack. I would show you all of the cool accessories that the backpack comes with. However, mine broke. Can't tell. There's a peg stuck in there. Literally, it just snapped off, and I didn't really want to take it apart to fix it. I think I did take it apart, but the damage was already done. I mean, the peg was very bent out of shape, and at that time, I wasn't really the biggest customizer. So I just didn't really care about building the other two parts. However, there are a lot of backpack accessories for you to use with them. But pretty much, you just plug it in like that, and then you have the backpack on. This version is really cool. The Eliminator, that's exactly why I bought it, was because it looks like a really, really cool version of the gun cannon.
It is honestly a little unfortunate this kit broke, but it still did the job. It gave me a cool looking gun cannon for my Federation army. And if you want a cool looking gun cannon or Gundam, they both kind of fit that role. And the other one is kind of like a scout thing. Reminds me of the EWAC, so that's also a really cool version as well. Jumping over to build divers for the last kit of the video, we have the HG Gym guard frame. This kit is pretty bare bones, and it's kind of supposed to be. There's a lot of spots you can customize it, especially with all the holes. You can put a lot of armor onto it.
Here we have the Gym guard frame. This is based off the Gym. It's kind of what it's based off of. The Gym was a completely original kit for build fighters, even though this is in build divers. And he kind of just comes with everything they kind of see on him. So he does have 2 pistols, and you have an attachment to make those pistols longer. I bought this one because I thought it looked cool. I gave it an antenna with glue, and then I give it this backpack. I think this is from the G-Line standard. And it definitely makes it feel a little bit more like an actual mobile suit that's going to war. So it just definitely needs a little bit of extra, but it is a frame, so it's kind of like the core Gundam. You're supposed to add on to it. But the articulation is just as good as the Gym. We're going to ignore that. That's never happened before. And he poses really, really well.
This kit is honestly pretty cool, even if it is a little bare bones. I really like the EVA kind of helmet it has on with that larger visor. And this kit is pretty much meant to be customized, I feel. It's pretty standard with the color scheme, the white and the black, so it offers a lot of easily customizable, as white is the easiest color to paint on. I like these kits a lot. You can tell I'm making an entire video about them, and they kind of have a weird place in the hobby as they're customized kits of already existing kits. So if you don't like customizing kits, you can still get a unique looking Gundam. And I think that's really cool. They're also a really nice break from the standard UC kits and all the other kits. They definitely feel unique, and I really like that. They do a lot of cool stuff. So overall, I think that these kits definitely have a place in the hobby, and you shouldn't be afraid to pick one up because they are a bit old. A lot of them do stand up. You just kind of got to be careful of tolerances, and if it looks like it has a lot of extra stuff based off the original kits, maybe you should avoid it. Thank you all for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. This one I kind of went all out on, trying a bunch of new techniques for these collection overviews. Hope you have a good rest of your day.